it at a distance, and so we always have to test it here. How's that work? Good? Awesome. So my name's Mike Roberts. I'm the president and founder of SpyFu. Today I'm going to talk to you, well, if you haven't heard of SpyFu, you can go to SpyFu, type in any domain name, see every keyword that they buy on or have ever bought on Google, every organic listing that they have, and every ad variation that they've run. That's sort of our thing. We're based in the Scottsdale Air Park, founded in 2005. The one thing that's interesting is that we don't do any consulting. So the stuff that I'm pretty much totally free to tell you all the horrible mistakes that we make, and there's really no repercussions whatsoever. So that's kind of a nice thing if you're looking at, what's my angle. I really don't have any. I just live here and like to engage. So what I'm going to talk about is some lessons that we learned in remarketing and the social implications of our remarketing campaign, failures that we made, lessons that we learned, and ultimately what the results were. And it's sort of a tale of maybe a cautionary tale, maybe an inspirational tale, or whatever. It's just a story. It's a case study, if you like. So a few months ago, I decided, heard a lot about this remarketing or retargeting, whatever you want to call it, thing. So I figured we'd try it out for SpyFu, see how it would work. And I was actually pretty impressed with the scale of what I could get in terms of impressions. So if you don't know how remarketing works, basically you go to our site, you go to SpyFu. Inside of SpyFu, we have a little snippet of JavaScript, a little code, and it's Google's code. And you can actually use more than just Google for remarketing. There's a whole bunch of you can remarket into. Google just happens to be really big, and it's in our best interest to know everything that there is to know about Google. So we use that. So Google slaps you with a cookie, and then essentially everywhere you go, no matter where you are on the internet, on your news site, on your search engine journal, or when you're trying to figure out how to make a feather scarf, which is interesting. Anyway, we follow you everywhere. Our ads show up everywhere. We look huge. If you're so it's got some really interesting branding potential. You look way bigger than you are, and most people actually, even in our industry, don't even catch on right away, but some of them do. The interesting thing about remarketing is that the metrics kind of suck. Well, let me not say that they suck. The metrics are essentially the same as display advertising, and that means essentially view-through conversions, or you can get click-through conversions. Or view-throughs or click-throughs. It doesn't actually matter whether or not you get somebody clicks on your ad. They click on your ad. That's your metric. But view-through conversions are kind of the cool thing because only idiots and illiterates or something click on actual banner ads. Usually they're scrolling, right? And you unintentionally click on something. And that's honestly true. There's plenty of studies that'll show you that isn't really the best way to measure, the performance of a display campaign. Anyway, the problem is that unlike normal display advertising, where I can just be I'm going to put my ad on Search Engine Watch, Search Engine Journal. For us, these are good places. I'm going to put my ad there, and those people may or may not have visited my site. They may not know about us. If they click on it or if they view through, I see it as a trustworthy metric. But when somebody's come to my site, they've visited our homepage, or they've abandoned our buy pipeline, there's a pretty good chance that they're going to buy anyway. They just may have to go get their credit card from their boss, and they're going to come back a day later. But in the meantime, as they're visiting their knitting sites, I'm showing them ads. So my metric is all skewed. It's saying, oh, this guy, when he was looking at his, at his news site, he saw your ad, and then he bought a couple hours later. So I get all this huge number of view-through conversions. So everything looks like it's succeeding massively. So you really have to dial it back. I mean, ultimately, it would look like we're getting all of our sales because of this remarketing campaign. So we have to figure out a way to account for that. This stuff is sort of less social, but it's also kind of interesting, and it sets everything up. You'll see. All right, so we figure out how to do this, right? Basically, what we do is we show a small group of our visitors we basically put them in one group, we give them a different cookie, and we start displaying to them, ads that don't matter. Pictures of unicorns, or like some kind of, affiliate thing, right? Just, it doesn't matter what we're showing them. The idea is that we don't want to influence them to buy SpyFu. We want them to basically just, be neutrally influenced. And then the other ones, the 90%, this is where we spend 90% of our budget, is actually on the real experiment. This is where we actually, show them our real ads. So then then what you do is you just subtract the conversion rate of the control from the conversion rate of the experiment. So the real ads minus the fake ads or unicorn pictures, and then what you get is the increase in conversion rate, and that's like the elegant solution to this whole problem. It's clean, it's elegant, it's almost perfect. You waste only 10% of spend on testing, it's beautiful. But we didn't do that. And the reality is that at SpyFu, I do like this, I still manage our AdWords stuff, I do like media buying and the digital stuff, Google Analytics, all that digital analytic driven marketing I still do. And as the owner, founder, whatever of the company, I'm basically lazy. I'm lazy. I don't. The cobbler's kids have no shoes, in essence, right? We are hiring a digital marketing director, just so you know. All right, so just to give you a little heads up on like why I'm lazy or whatever. Our AdWords potential is essentially maxed out. Not that many people click online or search for, SEO reports or, that keyword or keyword tool. Not that many people search for it. We're basically maxed out at like $5,000. Display advertising for us is mixed. Ultimately, there's no magic bullet for us that I've found. And, it also could factor into that whole I've got other things to do laziness thing that I haven't found the magic bullet for us. There used to be a magic bullet. AdWords back in the day was pretty awesome. But at the end of the day, it's hard to move the dial using advertising. I haven't figured out how to actually make something happen to sales that I can measure. We just kind of, I don't know, magically succeed. That's more or less how it works. Word of mouth is kind of our best best friend. Emails. Yeah, good point. Cedra manages our emails, and ultimately that's our best ROI. So what I saw with this remarketing thing is that there's just insane volume. Taking just 10% of my market, and like 1 million people visit SpyFu a month, so it's like a pretty, or 2 million or something, a lot of people visit SpyFu. So just taking 10% of my market, I can spend 30 or 40 grand a month. I should be able to move the dial on our sales. So, that's what I did. I went all in. It's a lazy way of doing it, but also, whatever. I'll throw all my chips on it and basically spend as much as I possibly can to influence these people to buy. And then we'll do it month to month, so we should be able to see a month-to-month change in sales in some amount because the volume's high enough. So that's how I lazily decided to measure. So by the numbers, we took 10% of our audience, which is about 160,000 people, and we showed them 600,000 ad impressions per day. And we spent about $800 a day doing that. So what happened? Well, Twitter blew up. We got insane amount of feedback. People are telling us, like, they're saying, hey, we saw your ads. We see them everywhere. Are you stalking us? What's going on, right? Like, how is it that you're spending this much money on ads? They're fooled, right? It's like brilliant. They're thinking, oh, SpyFu, they're just like this world dominant brand. Everywhere I go, even when I'm watching kitten videos, they're in front of me, right? So, like, imagine if you're like a local business, by the way, right? I mean, you could be so huge. People think that we're enormous, but some people, are onto it. Some people think, oh, by the way, I love this one. This one's great, right? Oh yeah, because we're spying on you, right? It's totally in brand. I like that sort of feedback. Some of the people were pissed off, right? They're like, stop with the fucking ads. Jesus Christ, I'm going to shoot myself in the face. That's what that looks like to me, right? So Dave, can you play this one? Now, there's no audio, but what we did in response to these to this lesson is we built a video, a YouTube video. We do a lot of these YouTube videos. Now you won't be able to, what, maybe?
I'm Cedra.
I'm Patrick, and we're from the SpyFu marketing team. Hi.
Normally, Mike Roberts does these videos, the big guy, the boss, but, well, he's busy. We wanted to sit down and share something that we've learned kind of in a tough lesson. Recently, we decided to try a new approach, which was taking advantage of Google's retargeting. What that means
Sorry for the lack of sound. Go.
is that our ads would be focused on people who had already visited SpyFu instead of trying to capture someone who had absolutely never heard of us before. So that was a step in the right direction. We liked what we saw. We turned on some ads and a few videos as well. It blends in pretty nicely. You're pretty much going to see banner ads anyway. A few times there might be some SpyFu videos. That's where things got a little different.
It turns out that people don't like tiny advertisements popping up on their YouTube video. And since we were doing this remarketing campaign, it was more frequently ours than not. It wasn't our intention to have every video that you watch with any kind of advertisement for a big SpyFu thing to be dead center of it. And we got some backlash.
Not only did we get backlash from Twitter, on Facebook, but we experienced the same thing ourselves. We have to admit, it really sucked.
Yeah, it sucked a lot. I really didn't want any of my kitten videos to be interrupted by a SpyFu ad.
Over time, this feedback got a little more intense, so we had to dig in and figure out what was going on. At first, we just assumed, okay, aren't you used to seeing banner ads? We thought it was fairly innocuous, until we started to realize that it was specifically the videos, the YouTube videos.
Fortunately, it's an easy solution. If you go back into Google, go to your account settings, you can eliminate all YouTube stuff. And that's exactly
Can you pause it real quick, Dave?
what we did.
Did you guys see that? You can turn off any website. So we ended up saying, look, I mean, if you didn't hear, did everyone hear that? Can you raise your hand and tell me if you could actually hear that stuff? I could hear it up here, so that's good. Okay, never mind, keep going.
And so now, unless it's a video specifically by SpyFu Team channel and specifically about our product, you will not, hopefully, ever see an advertisement interrupting your media ever again.
And thanks to everyone who tweeted, who emailed, who found us on live chat, who sent us an owl. I couldn't resist. We really do value that, and we're sorry, it will not happen again, but mostly we just thought we'd take the opportunity to share that with you so that if you were thinking of retargeting, we'd encourage you, we'd say go for it, just watch the kitten videos.
Stay the fuck away from kittens.
Go ahead, kill that. You guys got that last part, stay the fuck away from kittens, right? This is a little side lesson. Irreverence is part, oh, well, let me just like summarize that video real quick in case you didn't get it. The idea is that we figured, you know, not really by like massive forensics. People told us, the ads on YouTube are killing my kittens, right? They're like, I hate this so much. Please make it end for me, right? And so we did, right? That's what we basically figured out, that, oh my God, the ads on YouTube are the ones that are really destroying, you know, the sentiment on this campaign. And I think that that's probably a general rule. Also, those ads in Angry Birds, probably stay away from those. So, anyway, a little side lesson on this thing, right, is that SpyFu irreverence is part of our brand. It's an authenticity thing. So, you know, when I curse in my presentations, it's not like I don't have Tourette's. I can control myself. And in these videos, we found out that we're allowed, and it builds like, you know, sort of, I don't know, like our audience sort of likes it when we're a little edgy in our videos. So what we found is that we can say fuck at the end of a video, and you can put $$% in the title, and everyone's cool with it. But if you put fuck, actually the word in the title, that's not cool. You can say fuck, you can't print fuck. You can say like that, you know, the little thing, but you can't actually print the word. And the way we figured that out, well, we looked at it and it looks kind of weird, but also we actually posted that for like 6 views, and one of those 6 people actually posted to us, because our audience is so awesome. They're so technical like you guys that they're just going to tell us, you know, here's a search engine journal or search engine watch article about not putting fuck in a video. They'll tell us exactly what not to do. It's pretty awesome. So what do we do? Like literally, these people told us, hey, you know, how about you mess with the frequency cap on your displays, and maybe you can exclude me because I'm already a customer, that type of thing, right? Which which is like, I mean, our audience is so awesome. Like, no, people could start telling you, oh, I hate seeing all these videos, and you could be like, well, maybe I should decrease the number of ads that you see in a day. But our audience is like perfect. They tell us exactly what to do. So we listen to them. We drop down, the number of ads that somebody's going to see from 10, which is pretty, quite a bit per ad group, by the way, to 8 and then down to 5, just sort of dialing it back to wait to see when like the people start screaming at us, when they stop screaming at us, right? So that's the first thing we did. The second thing we wanted to do was use the exclusion groups. Now, in intellectual property law, there's this sort of, it's an actual legal standard called idiot in a hurry. And in this case, I'm an idiot in a hurry. I'm going to tell you that exclusion groups don't work. And what I mean by that is, sure, Google or whoever runs the ad network is going to show you that exclusion groups are going to work. But I'm telling you, as an idiot in a hurry, exclusion groups didn't work for me, certainly not right away, and I still don't think that they work well. So when you're setting up your campaign and you're like, well, I want to exclude people that are already my customers, or somebody that bought, I don't want to remarket to them, I don't want to continue to remarket to them. Expect that to not work right away. So tailor your ads so that you're not necessarily giving...
So the filters are all in the ad campaign itself, not in the cookies or anything?
Right. Yeah. In fact, there's even better systems than just pure Google. Like AdRoll is actually has a smart cookie, so you don't have to set up the different groups in your JavaScript. We actually have to do like a named group inside the JavaScript that we do, but there's things called smart pixels or whatever that work better, that let you tweak it by the page. So the exclusion group is, okay, I want to advertise to everybody that's visited my buy pipeline, but I want to exclude people that actually bought, right? That makes sense. It doesn't work as you would expect right away. Don't expect that to happen for you, at least if you're an idiot in a hurry like me. Also, the metrics are all jacked up. The one thing is, okay, look, I've got two groups. Let's just say I have two groups: people that visited my home page and people that visited my buy page, right? Google will show me like view-through conversions and click-throughs and all this stuff for both of those groups, but I guarantee that they intersect a lot. They intersect heavily. So I can't tell whether or not the person that visited my homepage is that people that visited my homepage but didn't visit my buy pipeline eventually somehow magically converted, because that's impossible. There's no way that you can buy without going through my buy pipeline. So I have no way of knowing actually which group is more profitable for me. So it's the metrics are jacked up. Just expect that to be the case. Yeah. Okay. So other lessons that we learned is that we can engage with the people that have negative feedback. And this isn't a me thing. This is the awesomeness of my team, and specifically Cedra, interacting with customers and diffusing the situation. So this guy's like, I'm really pissed off at you. Isn't he lovely? He's like, I hate these YouTube ads, right? Telling us exactly how it is, right? I see them 5 to 10 times a day. Like, what the fuck? Who tells you that? That's brilliant, right? But she's able to like respond to him and get him to basically say, look, I love you guys. It's a great product, great customer service, and not only do it once, but repeatedly and in comparison to like other products, right? It's like the people that are our fans, or even the people that hate us for a brief period of time, end up loving us. It's a beautiful engagement tool. And you guys know this. This is just probably social media 101, but it's just an anecdote. Okay, so what are the results? So in the first month, we ran about 8 million impressions. We started out running real hot, like on target for 16-ish million impressions. But of course, as we got the feedback, we ratcheted that down. We spent about $21,000 and made about $18,000 in new sales. So in my opinion, as a first run, that's excellent. That's great, because all I have to do is dial some things back, eliminate some of the waste, and we'll have like a profitable, high volume campaign. And so in the second month, we trimmed some fat and we focused on the best converting ads. We did about 3.5 million impressions and $11,000 in spend, but somehow it didn't translate. And I don't know whether or not, I actually don't know the answer to this yet. This is like sort of an ongoing campaign, something we're continually testing, but we only ended up with 1,000 new sales. My hunch is that may be the nature of the beast, that there's not a magic bullet still for us in terms of a volume-driven campaign that we can just plow a shitload of money into and make a shitload more back. I think that, that just doesn't exist in the real world. And so what we did is we just plucked a lot of low-hanging fruit that people were like on the edge, and then basically nothing happened after that. So, but I need to do some more testing, right? The bad metrics make it more difficult, but and it looks like crushing people with impressions really doesn't pay off. So my volume that I thought was awesome, like where I was going to be able to do $30,000 or $40,000 in spend, probably isn't there. I can probably realistically do like $7,000 or $8,000 in spend to reach my audience. But we can definitely improve the experiment. So if you see unicorn ads following you all over the internet, you know I'm watching. Thank you. Is there any questions? No, actually, we just did banner ads. It would be interesting to try the text ad thing.
Are you already managing the paper push for them, and then are they like taking off something saying let's try 25% of my budget? And
This is me. So like this is my personal. I own SpyFu, and we're running our own campaign, but so we don't manage anybody else's campaign. Makes sense.
clients who have the paper push are now moving into the remarketing.
Yeah.
AdWords sizes for how much budget should be allocated for that, and you just have to look for the data.
I think that it's a good idea to try text ads. I do because you'll. I think it's a really good strategy. I'll definitely do that.
Are you using image banners or are you using animated?
Combination of image and animated, and they got more clicks, but the view through conversions were consistent. Anybody else?
If you're running more than one set of banner ads, so you have
Yeah.
basically more than one campaign of banners.
Right.
Some might be funny and some might be serious or whatever.
They don't do serious, but
But,
yeah,
you know, okay.
yes, but they were very. Yeah.
Okay.
I got it. Anybody else? Did I catch us up? I think I did. Right? Almost? Thanks. All right.